Of course, under this condition, it will be very useful for us to understand the concepts of one. In fact, when a business is set up, the first thing that is done is capital that is paid. But peradventure, at a later date, the business collapsed and could not function. It has been wounded up. But unfortunately, the business is owing. Under the concept of unlimited liability, the shareholder will lose his capital to pay for the debt, and his personal property will also be sold to pay for that same debt. So the shareholder under unlimited liability is a complete loser. 2, that is B, limited liability. If the company has limited liability, the case will not be so. The capital contributed by shareholder is constant, but nobody knows so much about the private property. So if such a business is established and it got collapsed and is owing, unlike in the case of unlimited liability, the shareholder will only lose what he contributed as capital to the business, but not together with his personal property. For example, A, B, C, D, and E are members of a partnership. Are members of a partnership. Somehow, the business collapsed and they all contributed capital. And this same business is owing 5 million naira. Now, the total capital, whereas the total capital is 3 million naira. Therefore, total debt equal 2 million naira. Well, from this example, in the case of unlimited liability, that 2 million naira debt the company is owing, because we have to subtract this 3 million from this 5 million. This 3 million is the capital. A, B, C, D, E will fulfill that 3 million. But now, in the case of unlimited liability, the extra 2 million debt will be paid for by the shareholders. But in the case of limited liability, they will not be called to pay this extra 2 million. That is why we are saying that in the case of unlimited liability, should the business collapse, shareholders will lose their capital and also sell probably their personal property to pay for the debt. But in the case of limited liability, Shareholders will only lose their capital, but not together with their personal property.